Public safety on mass transit, part of the focus yesterday, and the second of a series of hearings on Illinois mass transit across the states with Chicago Transit Authority, the Regional Transit Authority, Metra, so many other different transit organizations with questions of taxpayer subsidies for these operations. You've got questions about accessibility for these operations. You've also got questions of the rates of people riding on these forms of transportation. But clearly, a lot of focus at the Illinois State House on how to handle these issues. All right, it is Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Kevin Bessler, reporter at the Center Square, reporting out in a series of hearings on Illinois mass transit. You've got public safety being in the spotlight yesterday. The Senate Transportation Committee holding hearings around the state to focus on several aspects of mass transit, with the latest hearing dealing with the state of transit and accessibility and equitability. Now, at the public hearing, mass transit users encouraged to speak up on a variety of issues and safety and cost. State Senator Michael Hastings, he had a moment to ask questions of the Chicago Transit Authority's Dorval Carter Jr., and this is how that played out with questions about public safety on mass transit, especially the Chicago Transit Authority.
My last question is, Mr. Carter. I take, when I'm in the city, I take the L, which is awesome. It's a great transportation line. Safety is a concern. You see in the news story about maybe in a subway station, someone getting beat up, someone getting killed, someone getting pushed onto a track. What are we doing to address safety? Because accessibility directly relates to safety. How do you ensure that riders feel safe?
Well, as you know, the Chicago Police Department provides the policing for the Chicago Transit Authority, and then there are also a number of suburban suburban police forces that deal with some of the suburban areas. The truth of the matter is that crime is down on CTA. I think it's also important to remember that we're carrying 1 million people a day. And in that, you are going to find issues that ultimately are unacceptable by me or by our employees or by anyone else. Having said that, the perception of crime is the problem. There are a number of things that we have done. There's new technology that we're implementing that allows us to be able to detect weapons and other things on our system. There is increased security presence that we have added to the system to try to provide more eyes and ears to support it. And obviously we continue to work with the Chicago Police Department themselves about having greater visibility from the police on our system. The final point that I'll mention is something that actually is sort of an outgrowth of legislation that the state passed just recently about code of conduct and banning people from our system. We have put in place the procedures in accordance with the law to allow us to start removing people or restricting people from using our system who engage in inappropriate conduct. We're working very closely with the legal system to effectuate those situations so that we can, in some way, deal with the fact that if there are people who just do not want to engage in our system in an appropriate way, that there are consequences for that, even above and beyond what the justice system may vet out in terms of other actions that can be taken.
So the CTA president saying there that, yes, of course, it's an issue, but he says that crime's down on CTA. And he also, here in a bit, reacts to some criticism about that, saying, well, listen, we can't have cops everywhere. We've got a chat bot people can use to report things. So we'll hear a little bit about that, but before, to the issue of crime rates being down, Democratic State Senator Laura Murphy from Des Plaines, well, she was pretty pointed in her questioning here.
I can appreciate your statistics, but I don't have a lot of faith in that. I'm going to share, if your indulgence, Mr. Chairman. In the last 14 months, I myself have ridden the Blue Line 3 times. Each experience, someone was either smoking or disruptive in the car. You move cars, and there's the same behavior that's occurring. There was at least one occurrence in each of those rides, and some more, of I felt unsafe. And even though I had a 6'2", 240-pound football player with me, we still felt unsafe. So I'd like to suggest that that's the experience that a lot of suburban commuters are experiencing, and why we are back in our cars, even though the Kennedy is a terrible experience and takes up twice the amount of time, but at least I know I'm safe in my own car. And that is the mindset of significant passengers from the suburban communities that are not riding the CTA. And now we're going to expect a huge amount of tourists that are going to be coming to our city. And I'm hoping we start to see some of those Chicago police officers, because I've yet to see one in the last 14 months that I have ridden that. So, and the amount of crime that you report is a reduction. Nobody reports those incidents of uncomfortable, of being harassed, of being accosted. There's no one to report. There's no conductor that walks through the cars. There's no police that walk through the cars. There is absolutely zero presence of any authority figure. And so I think your crime reports are sorely underreported.
Well, can I respond to that to some degree? First of all, we have increased the tools that our customers can use to report situations to us. One of the things that we just launched recently is a chatbot that allows you on your phone to let us know in real time if there's something going on the train that we should be aware of. We also obviously recognize that there are ongoing issues with regards to behavior on CTA. I can tell you that that's not unique to CTA. It is something that is experienced everywhere. I can't sit here and give you a solution to that problem, as much as I would like to. I have way too many cars. I have over 2,000 rail cars. I have almost the same amount of buses. I have my employees, the union that's represented here, which will tell you the same thing, that they are very concerned about safety on CTA. The point is that there needs to be an aggressive societal approach to this problem. It isn't a problem that CTA solves by itself. There aren't enough police officers in the entire city of Chicago to put on every rail car and have in every location and every bus on CTA.
And he goes on to say, it needs to be a societal change until people respect society, I guess. So obviously CTA, RTA, Metra, and other transit agencies, there's conversations about consolidating all of them. You've got a huge fiscal cliff that is being faced that could possibly see some tax dollars plug those holes. Whether or not that's actually going to matriculate out of the Illinois State House, we'll keep an eye on that. But others in the live chat this morning saying that if concealed carry was allowed on public transit, maybe some people would feel safer. But again, in Illinois, that's not allowed. You can't conceal carry on mass transit. There's currently lawsuits challenging that prohibition, but we'll see where that goes. It is Illinois in Focus Daily, each and every weekday morning here. Appreciate you guys being part of the program, and like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and join us each and every weekday morning. America's Talking Network, The Center Square, and Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Follow me anywhere. Just search Bishop on Air. You can also email me, gbishop@thecentersquare.com. gbishop@thecentersquare.com. Have a great day.